Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, everybody. Those that are not here and will come in. Hey, 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 double, double. What's going on? Popping on just to pop on. Hey, I missed you this morning. I took some cold medicine about 4 o'clock. Yeah, my eyeballs saw open at about 9. Crazy. Trying to get right so I can finish out my work week next week strong. It been hard. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Everything was cool over here. Real cool. I gotta go catch your replay though, cause I caught that title. I caught it. But yeah, I was just checking in a little bit, see if I can't come up with something to talk about for a few minutes. And I ain't go to church today either. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't going back to work Tuesday. But and I gotta go back to even listen to my dang on church message. I just been like relaxing. But I did notice that the title was Seed and Soil, and it made me just really think, most of the time when we talking about, you know, those that are in Christ or church or whatever you want to call it, um, whichever one you are in, because we know there's a difference. Um, the first thing people think is money when you think about seed, but seed comes in many forms, not just, plant fruit or money, if you want to call it, but also in words, thoughts, the things you do, how you treat people, how you treat yourself. And the thing that caused me to come on here was just thinking about the fact that so many people plant seeds in so many different ways and they don't even really pay attention to number one, what they're saying. Hello, Bald Lana. Um, Number one, what they're saying, or number two, what, who they're saying it to. And I'm gonna say, who you're saying it to is gonna be considered your soil. So it's like, what are you planting, and what type of soil are you planting it in? You can say a lot of positive things out your mouth, but then go and plant those seeds in a place where nothing is gonna be able to be cultivated, nothing is gonna grow, nothing is gonna come from it. Or you could be putting foul seeds into good soil and you'll get the same freaking reaction. Nothing. I don't think people pay attention to the seeds that they plant in their own lives. You know what I mean? It's one thing to go out here and plant little seeds here and there that'll benefit a person or whatnot. But what about the seeds that you sow into your own life? I think we mostly focus on sowing seed elsewhere or sowing seed into other people, most of the time for some self motivating reason we sow seed. I don't think a lot of people are, not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people that are sowing seed to gain something for themselves, not to really help anyone else, you know. You reap what you sow. So if you're sowing seed for with ill intentions, you're going to receive the backlash for that. But when I say, what seeds are you planting into your own life? What are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about the things that you're trying to accomplish? What are you saying about where you want to go, how you want to grow? And then there's the soil. How's your heart? What that heart do? Are you planting all these seeds on soil that's wicked and tainted and has been compromised? I was saying last night, a lot of people, I think it was last night when I was saying it. It might have been the night before, but just how a lot of things that we go through, things that manifest in our life that are troubling, unfavorable, that are bothersome, they are probably there because your heart isn't right. Are you sowing seeds into your own life and nothing is coming from it because you aren't good soil? That's like a self check. You know what I'm saying? That's a self check. Who's willing to look at themselves to that degree and be honest? Who's willing to look at themselves and be like, man, for a moment I've been a little toe up from the flow up, and that's probably why ain't nothing coming to me. Not, oh, that person spoke on me or that person had this to say about me. They're trying to keep me down, hold my shine. What if it was your soil? What if it was the soil inside of you that was corrupt? So no matter how well you spoke or how well you thought you were articulating things, no matter what kind of seeds you thought was so magnificent, what happens when you're bad ground? Ooh, wait. And I don't know about y'all, but I feel like any of us can be bad ground at any given moment, depending on what we make way for, what we make way for. Like I was talking about guarding your eye gates and your ear gates, and things that we take in and consume can lead to a weak mind, which causes us to be less secure, insecure, which causes us to feel everything that, let's say a human being is throwing at us. Because the things we're consuming, we are now tainted in our heart and mind. Some of us don't know the difference in when God is speaking through our heart and when the devil is playing with our mind. We get them mixed up. And I think it's all about tainting your own soil, depending upon, hi Lydia, depending upon what you've consumed, on purpose. A lot of things we watch can corrupt your soil. A lot of things we listen to can corrupt your soil. Hell, YouTube, watching too much of this in certain places will corrupt your soil. Being around and talking to the wrong people can corrupt your soil. So therefore, we have all these wonderful seeds in our hand that we could be planting into our own lives, but nothing's growing. In fact, the ground is a bit stony, and sometimes we don't know why. But it's things we partake in. We partake in a whole bunch of BS in life and didn't expect uh, warm wishes, praise, and great accolades. But in all reality, your heart is what you are reflects from your heart. So you can smile all you want to, you can be nice all you want to, but if your heart stank, you gonna smell. You gonna smell. Most people cry when somebody say, basically, you stink. That is such a weird play on words, but yeah. We want to go out sowing seeds, but we ain't paying attention to the ground we sowing it in, and then we speaking and sowing seeds in our own lives. We ain't paying attention to the fact that our ground is messed up. Sometimes, hey, 4748. I like that number. I'm going to play it in the lottery. Sometimes looking in the mirror causes great pain and brings tears to the soul, but there's Jesus. Amen. And that's what happens. Sometimes we have to, a lot of our problems are not the devil. A lot of us would love it to be that easy and that simple to say, oh, it was the devil doing this, the devil doing that. But if you're like me, you're not giving that fool that much power. I feel like the first thing we need to do before before we start calling out the enemy is to take a look at ourselves. Have we given way to the enemy? Because that's the way he attacks, is when we allow it. And like 4748 said, sometimes that look in the mirror is a hard look. I love that you said that, because I always say, there was, like, say if I had a situation, I'm like, oh, I know, I can use this for an example. When I went through my healing process, with dating and just life changing, all that stuff, I was just cleaning out my house, so that those familiar things wouldn't return and bring all they nasty cousins with them. So when I was going through that healing process, the way I always describe it after the fact, after going through all the healing and being in a better space, better place, the way I always describe that is, I went through this one portion. It was a singles group. And it always started with a challenge. And the challenge was praying for my future, spouse, basically. And I quickly realized it wasn't about it wasn't about, oh, I'm going to find a spouse. I quickly realized in this thing, it was like, soon as you get in this thing, you're going to get a big mirror turned on you. Because I don't know if you know, but preparing for anything, I don't care if it's marriage, a new job, school, parenting, prepare for anything, there's going to be a moment where you have to reflect, to make sure everything is in line, everything is in check, to make sure you're prepared for that journey. So before you can go forth and find you a husband or qualify for that job, you're going to have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what are the things that I need to do to make these things successful? It's not a time to think about how another person feels about you, or what mama and daddy has said about you in the past. Some of us have had those instances where, we were told awful things about us, from people we love. That mirror helps you to look in there, and basically what it did for me is it allowed me to say what I saw. And then when I went through the process and looking back in that mirror, it allowed me to say what I see, what I see in this new moment, after going through that process. And guess what? That was all because of God. Jesus led the way on that. It wasn't a secular based program that I was in. Excuse me. It was hey Gary. It was a faith base. So the very first part of the program was getting back to Jesus, And it wasn't that, oh, y'all left Jesus, so now y'all got to get back in line. But sometimes we have turned away and have to get back in line. So that was the very first thing with the whole thing was built on. We had to get our mind and heart back right with Christ. It started there. Then it went into servitude, things like that, like working on friendships, how they say, if you want to have a friend, then show yourself friendly. A lot of people don't have friends. You'll hear a lot of people say, I don't fool with a lot of people, I don't have any friends. I've come to the realization that a lot of people say that because they don't know how to be a friend. I don't think we wake up one day and just never have any friends. No matter what, good or bad, we are always the common denominator in our own situation. Afternoon, double speak. We are always the common denominator in our own situations, negative or positive. So it's like there's that mirror again. If you don't have friends, you need to look in the mirror and find out, well, why don't I have friends? Because guess what? If you don't know how to be a friend, you're not going to know how to be a husband or a wife. You know what I mean? A lot of people just really need to, thank you, 4748, for talking about that mirror. A lot of people really need to just look in the mirror. You having issues, you having problems, you got haters and all this good stuff that y'all be talking about. that's foreign to me. I don't know nothing about no haters. Haters are people that secretly love you in private. hmm But you have to look in the mirror. What am I? What am I? What is my projection? What do I put out that draws in what I get? Forget what's happening over here. What am I doing for this to be coming to me? What is it I see in the mirror that I need to change to make this right? So if you don't have any friends, what is it? Are you selfish? Are you rude? Are you self-centered? Do you not care? I mean, what is it? There's something about us that we should always be able to point out for ourselves. You ain't got to tell the world about it, but it's a good idea to fix it. I've seen illustrations in church where they'll take a mirror. Matter of fact, I was at this conference, and what they did was put out a big mirror, and they had the women to write on like sticky notes what they saw. I've seen this really done twice. But they would put, hey, young Riaz, they would put the things that they saw on that mirror, and the lady would have her to replace what she saw with something else, with the opposite of what she wanted to see, as she took off each one. So by the time she got to the last one, this person is really broke down, but it was like a breakthrough because what she saw in the mirror was none of those things she had put up there, but she saw herself. That's the beginning of healing for me. It's that long look in the mirror. It's not a what you did to me. It's not a who coming at me. It's not who don't support me. It's me. What do I need to do to get everything that I'm seeking from out here for myself? Because I feel like if I don't have it already with myself, I'm not going to be able to receive it from others. I think that's where a lot of trust issues may come from because people don't deal with their stuff. You can't just say, I don't trust people and just go through our life like I don't trust nobody. You have to learn to trust yourself first, right? So if you trust yourself when you look in that mirror, you're going to have to ask yourself, why don't I trust people? Because there's probably some unforgiveness there. And if you don't want to look in the mirror, guess what you have? Pride. Pride. Absolutely. It's like if you really want to be better, if you really want to have better relationships, if you want to have just more positivity coming your way, then reflect on yourself. Give all the things that you need to yourself first. Then you know if you're capable of giving this to someone else, and then it can be reciprocated. I can't expect from anyone, and I'm not saying it has to be person to person, but just in general, I can't expect from anyone what I'm not willing to give. If I don't want to give a person grace, why am I expecting it? If I don't want to, give a person love, why am I expecting it? If you get what I'm saying. Love can't be private. It comes from the inside and it exudes out of you. And that goes what I was saying. What are you projecting that you're not, what you feel like you're not receiving from other people, respect and let's use this as an example. There's always somebody coming at somebody for something. And then there's always that that element where well, damn, I ain't did nothing to this person. What's the problem? I'm still gonna look at myself. And it could be simply entertaining. I'm sorry, let me get you something to drink. Now y'all see why I stay out of work? I'm gonna have to call my honey, tell him to bring me some cough drops because I can't keep taking all this syrup. Do you have a sheet over your phone? What you see, double rainbow? It's a filter on there. I don't know what it looks like on you guys end. It's a filter. It was one with bubbles on there before, but I couldn't find it when I came back. You see my face. What do you mean, my picture? Because it's flipped. It shouldn't be on no face. It might be my what you call it picture. My thumbnail. Let me see. Hit the like button. Hey Meek. Afternoon double speak sometimes. Where did Gary come in at? Gary. Love isn't private. Okay. Okay. I'll just catching up on what y'all was saying. Well, yeah, man. Look, I gotta say, my cash app ain't even up there. Thank you, Double. I'm telling you, I'm going to the hospital because my bonus baby had pneumonia last week. And yeah, no, we don't want that. It's a lot of stuff going around. So get some vitamin C and all that good stuff in your life because I think this season with flu and stuff is going to be really bad. And I wish I was more preventative myself because I know good and well every time the weather changes, it get me. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. When the weather changes, that's the only times I get sick is when the seasons switch, or if there's a drastic change from hot to cold or cold to hot. Always get me. But yeah, man, it's like we need to just make, like I said, I was talking about seed and soil. We need to make sure not only are we planting good seeds, but make sure we're planting it in the proper places. And then when we're sowing into our own lives, make sure we are that proper place for that seed so that what grows will be beautiful and not dead. I had to catch myself. Not dead. One time. Oh man. Yeah, and then with the mirror thing, I'm so glad he brought that up. It starts with you know what I mean? What it is you want to see, what it is you expect starts with you. I can't expect a college degree and then think double gonna go to school for me to get it. No, I have to do it. So if you're feeling a little down, look in the mirror, talk to yourself. You ain't always got to call your girl on the phone and say, girl, guess what? What you think about this and all that good stuff? We ain't always got to do that. We ain't even always got to retaliate in conflict. Sometimes we just got to go in that mirror and look at ourselves and be like, self, what you think? Man, I think you cool. You better than that. Man, rise above that BS. That's what you need to do. Because I feel like it's gonna be a whole bunch of people that how people go through sit in the presidency for those 4 years, and over the 4 years we see them by the time they come out, they done aged about 10 years. That's what's about to happen to a whole lot of people in this world that's living their life in chaos and going back and forth and conflict and family issues, social media issues, work issues. It's about to be some people aging not so gracefully for no good dang on reason. I'm trying to stay right here for a while. You know, I take a couple lines around the eyeballs and little wrinkles around the eye just to show I'm maturing a little bit, but I still want to be youthful. I'm not about to stress myself out when I carry solutions. You know what I mean? Like Gary say all the time, you the storefront. So not only do I go into my storefront to serve and share with other people, I go into that storefront to re-up myself. Whether it's sit down to read the word, whether it's listen to some worship, whether it's watch a sermon, whether it's take a nap, whether it's go take a walk, get some coffee, whatever floats your boat. Those are the things that I'm going to do that's going to help with the longevity and the value of my life, because I have so many things to be, number one, thankful for, and then so many things I'm responsible for. Yes, I have grown children, but guess what? I'm still responsible for being that image they can look at, that they strive to be better than. Yeah, like me, but better. Like me is fine, but please be better. I still have the obligation to be the best grandma I can be when this baby get here. That's gonna be my legacy, you know? I'm ready to create memories. I don't wanna be like with my great grandmother. I have zero memory of my great grandmother. I was a baby, but I don't remember her. So I don't want to be that person. And that's why now I take a lot of, even like of my boyfriend's children, I take a lot of pictures and videos of them because I know the importance now of creating memories. And I sucked at getting pictures taken and stuff with my children. Now they old man and woman, and we don't have those memories created, you know. So I'm blessed to have an opportunity to make sure that these little ones get it. And at the same time share with my kids about it. You know, because even though they 30, they could be looking like, oh, mom, why are you doing all that? You ain't do that with us. But they're not like that. They laugh and they like to hear the stories, you know. They want to meet the kids. So that's why I'm trying to stay in a positive, happy place, a reflection of um, God's goodness. Yeah, a reflection of God's goodness. And in those times where I feel like I'm low, yeah, I got my fave five I can hit up. But it don't take the whole world, you know? I'm not jumping phone line to phone line. Girl, girl. Looking for a different response or looking for the response I want from different people. You know, and every time I don't get the response I want to hear, I'm going to either get mad at that person or go elsewhere. No. I got my solid five that's going to never lie to me, you know? So even though it may sting or taste funny, guess what? I know they got my best interests. And that has nothing to do with any of this mess in the world, you know. Those are my people. However, I need to be a better reflection of Christ. That's what I'm going to do, you know. Because once you put that down and you pick up something else, you look shady. You look mighty shady. I'm just saying. Don't be out here looking like a liar fool. Please don't. But that's my biggest spiel, man. Make sure you're not planting seeds into bad ground yourself. Make sure your heart is right and get it together. How do you check your heart? Ask yourself them hard questions. Look in the mirror and answer them truthfully. You know what I mean? We could speak on everything wrong with everybody else, but can you tell yourself what's wrong with you? I promise you, if you can look at yourself and be honest with yourself, that is the key to fixing those things. Even the stuff you keep pushing to the back of your mind because you think it ain't you. Oh, it's you. It's you. I couldn't be self-centered. I'm too nice. I'm kind. I talk to everyone. No, you're self-centered, ma'am, sir. I'm not obnoxious. Yes, you are. It's just like that. It is just like that. Simple and plain. But having said all that, I just came here for 30 minutes and we are at 30 minutes and it was fun while it lasted. I'm going to get off here, go find me some tea and some honey and all that good stuff to try to get this cough under control. Give me some rest. I'm about to put this sweatshirt on. I'm about to Trey song it. Sweat it out, sweat it out, sweat it out. I gotta get better. But yeah, man, I pray God blesses the rest of you guys' day, that you know, have fun watching football, eating y'all last day of leftovers or whatever, and you know, enjoy your family before everything goes back to normal. tomorrow morning, the best day of the week, Monday. We love Monday over here. And yeah, if you're looking at the replay, share it. If you know somebody that needed to hear something I said, um, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. If I said something that helped you today, guess what I say? Well, what Double say? Glory be to God. And having said all that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And I am out of here. Bye.